I've never been more bullish on oil than I am now. Listen, guys, it's a mess out there. It's only going to get worse. I mean, the rhetoric from Saudi Arabia is getting even more provocative. I mean, here's the deal. If you got to understand the act of defiance from OPEC Plus from Saudi Arabia, the slap to Joe Biden's face is bigger than you've ever imagined. Here's something you need to understand. Joe went to Saudi Arabia begging for oil. Joe used the most powerful financial system, the most powerful financial instrument. Imagine having the power to sanction Iran, to sanction Russia, to sanction China, to sanction countries, powerful countries with nuclear weapons. That power is in the hands of the most powerful financial system in the world that is owned by America, and they weaponize that against fossil fuels, against oil, to manipulate oil prices by these federal rate hikes. And the flip of the switch by OPEC Plus undermined the most powerful nation in the world, the most powerful financial system. And so if this goes unmet with some sort of discipline, with some sort of reaction from Biden, you could kiss powers at be bye. You look what happened in Afghanistan. Because of the debacle there, it's caused Russia to become more provocative enough to start dropping bombs in Ukraine. And then Iran gets involved, sends drones over to Russia to drop bombs in Ukraine. It might as well have been Iran to send it directly to Ukraine to drop bombs. Do you think that relationship, do you think they would have gone on the world stage publicly to drop bombs in another country, a peaceful country, if we had a strong sitting president? That would have never happened. So we have no choice but to come against OPEC Plus. And even at the demise, we know for a fact that Saudi Arabia is going to retaliate. We know for a fact that we're going to get cut off from oil if we do, but if we don't, they're not going to be in power anymore. Nobody's going to vote for them anymore. According to Rasmussen reports, 83% of Americans are concerned about high energy prices. That is the most important topic right now, high energy. And we're going to see what's going to happen in the midterms. I mean, Saudi Arabia, OPEC Plus, curb production by 2 million barrels a day just before midterms. They're not going to allow this to continue. And so here's the deal. So the Biden administration is going to retaliate. They're trying to pass this NOPEC bill. And they're probably going to cut them off from other resources, okay? Saudi Arabia knows this is going to happen. So what are they doing? Okay, so if you watch my past videos, I said, mark my words, Saudi Arabia is going to sign with BRICS. Before it was rumors. Some people didn't believe it was going to happen. But now, watch this video.
This is Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa.
They have a great desire, and they are not the only country that is finding the BRICS family or formation attractive because of what BRICS stands for. And so we did say to them, the BRICS nations are going to be meeting in a summit next year under the chairship of South Africa, in South Africa. And the matter is going to be under consideration. And already a number of countries or nations have been making approaches to each of the BRICS members, and we've given them the same answer, that it will be discussed by the BRICS partners themselves, 5 of them, and thereafter a decision will be made.
So how does one perceive this? Why are so many countries keen on joining BRICS? And what about the Saudis? What's their intention? To answer this, we'll first have to understand the purpose of BRICS. It was established to serve as an alternative to Western blocs, to counter their hegemony in geopolitics and the global economy. So, is Riyadh's bid to join BRICS an attempt to disassociate itself from the West? It surely seems like it, because Saudi Arabia's relations with Washington have hit a new low. Look at some recent developments. OPEC Plus has refused Biden's request to ramp up oil production. It then snubbed Biden's threats with a sharply worded statement. Then, as if to rub salt on injury, an American citizen has been sentenced to 16 years in prison in the kingdom. This was followed by another snub. Saudi Arabia did not extend an invitation to American officials for an investment conference scheduled for later this month. And now Saudi Arabia wants to join BRICS. It all seems to be part of a strategy. Saudi Arabia's push to decouple itself from the United States and ultimately the West.
So it's pretty obvious that Saudi Arabia is going to sign with BRICS. I mean, the BRICS president from Africa, as well as Xi Jinping, these guys are going to meet. Why are they meeting? Because he's signing with BRICS. BRICS is a retaliation to NATO. It's a retaliation to the Western sanctions. They're tired of the sanctions, and if they have control over the largest oil supply in the world, they could control the world. We're talking world domination. We're talking about them intertrading oil, whatever price they want to trade it at. If Saudi Arabia and Russia want to sell oil at $50 a barrel, as where they sell it to the West for $150, they can do that. And so all of a sudden, American oil becomes more valuable than it's ever been before, but at the expense of hurting Americans and hurting Europe and hurting Ukraine. And they're doing this to get the Western powers off their backs. They're tired of being sanctioned. They're tired of being under control. Now, here's the deal. China's still under lockdown. We're about to lose a lot of Russian oil when the EU-Russian oil embargo kicks in December. And then also the fact that we're losing 1 million barrels a day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. That's about a 4.5 million barrel a day increase in demand. What are we going to do? Where are we going to find that 4.5 million barrels a day? I mean, shale oil, you can't count on that. I mean, they're saying that a lot of people are saying that we're going to peak. Really smart analysts are saying that we're going to hit peak shale sometime 2023. Okay. Now, if you don't understand Shell, watch my past videos. I'm tired of talking about it, but Shell is at their demise. Okay. Some of the biggest shell companies right now, oil prices are high and they're losing money in the third quarter. Now, here's the deal. So BRICS is coming against the West. They're going to cut us off from oil. That's their plan. Saudi Arabia has no choice but to form an alliance with these guys. The rhetoric from Saudi Arabia is getting even worse. Look at what Saudi Arabia, the young prince's cousin, has to say about the West, about America.
ردنا على الغرب نفس الكلام هذا نعيده بالإنجليزية. Anybody that challenges the existence of this country and this kingdom, all of us, we are projects of jihad and martyrdom. That's my message to anybody that thinks that he can threaten us.
So you think with that kind of rhetoric, you don't think they are going to retaliate? You don't think Saudi Arabia isn't planning something? Listen, they are done. Saudi Arabia is done with America, and they are pretending that, hey, this is not political. Listen, we're good. Hey, we're good, America. All the while they're having these meetings with BRICS. Look, they're done with us, guys, and it's only going to get worse from here on out, okay? And this whole Strategic Petroleum Reserve and the thing that the Biden administration is saying, hey, listen, guys, good news. I'm releasing 15 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to help lower energy prices, putting that savings into your pocket. Listen, they already planned on this. Was part of the original plan to begin with. He's not releasing 15 million barrels more. This was the original plan. I mean, you see how he plays on. This is all just to make you think that, hey, I'm doing more for you guys. In addition to that, he's selling the oil at $90 to $100 a barrel, and then he's going to try to buy it back at $65 to $70 a barrel to replenish. He lost what he sold. Now, here's the deal. When is oil prices going to go down to $65 to $70 a barrel? Listen, this just put a price target on the backs of Americans. OPEC Plus is never going to allow oil prices to go to a level to where they could buy more oil to fill that SPR. The fact that they undermined them just before the midterms tells me that they are interested in putting egg on Joe Biden's face to teach him a lesson. To not only they've reduced the most precious commodity, their most important part of their GDP. They've reduced the value of that. It's not based upon fundamentals. It's based upon manipulation. Listen, this is artificially controlled. When the fundamentals kick in, which they always do, man, we're going to see $130 oil again. Okay, and when we see shale oil peak and it start to see the decline in a massive way, man, it's gonna be a mess, guys. And it just doesn't. This whole strategic petroleum reserve is a joke. I mean, for him to tap into a savings account and with no way to replenish it, because I mean, if it'd be one thing if they took oil out of the strategic petroleum reserve with plans to replace it with increased output, that would make sense. But their plan is to wait until oil prices drop to $70-something a barrel, probably because of a recession or the Green New Deal actually kicks in. We're still waiting for all these solar power panels and wind turbines and all these electric cars to reduce oil demand, which I haven't seen. Oil demand is growing. I mean, India's oil demand, we're going to see a demand grow there like you've never seen before. The demand in China, the demand in the emerging markets. I mean, the demand for oil is increasing. We saw in August an increase of 2 million barrel a day demand. Listen, the demand is not lowering. I mean, everyone said that we're in a recession, and the EIA and there's reports saying that, hey, actually demand increased by 2 million. Go figure. So listen, Joe, where are you going to get this oil from, buddy? We're going to lose 4.5 million barrels from what we're seeing in China, what we're seeing in the EU embargo from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. In addition to that, oil demand is increasing, and all the money you're spending on green energy, nobody's seeing a reduction in the demand for oil. Guys, listen, I've never been more bullish on oil than I am right now. And the fact that this is all oil prices at $90-something a barrel and it's 100% artificial. Imagine when fundamentals kick in. All right, guys, I'm Sean Pruitt, president of Kingdom Exploration. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you're interested in looking at oil and gas deals, we've got a new oil deal in Western New York. Really excited about that. Look at my description below. Fill out the form. I'd love to chat with you. It's actually going to be me talking to you. And forgive me, I know there are a lot of people trying to get in touch with me. I'm just super busy, guys. Look, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a YouTube guy. I'm not I just got on here to start speaking truth. I was tired of hearing it, but my day job is looking at oil and gas deals. This is a hobby, guys, that I actually really enjoy doing. So listen, journalists, news organizations, they have a team. I don't have a team. Okay, so you're my team, guys. If you got any great, interesting articles that's directly correlates with oil prices, oil and gas industry, BRICS, the Nord Stream pipeline, or anything of that nature, please send it my way. In my description below, you'll see my email address. And and the guys that are sending me news, the guys that are sending me articles, they're much appreciated. I do read them, and it really helps me out. All right, guys, thanks.